Do you still remember the mornings when your body greeted you without asking permission? Or has everything gone quiet lately, leaving you to wonder, am I past my prime? And if I told you that this silence isn't just about getting old, but is the first signal that your body is shutting down a function you can still maintain, would you dare to hear me out? This isn't an entertainment video. This is the bluntest conversation that almost no one dares to have with men over 60. I'm the one who will say it to you. Clearly, plainly, respectfully. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the things a doctor should be telling you privately, instead of leaving you to fumble around in worry. And I want you to join me right now, not to fish for engagement, but so I know I'm speaking to your exact pain. If what I've just said touches your real life, the feeling of being winded, the lost morning spark, the loss of confidence in yourself, comment with the number 1. If you hear this and still think, I don't believe it, it's probably just age, comment with 0. Both matter because that's how I adjust the next content to your real needs instead of speaking in generalities. In the next section, I'll tell you what many men keep secret even from their wives, what actually happens inside your body when you stop touching yourself for too long, and why that not only takes away the morning erection, but quietly drags down blood flow, hormones, sleep, and even the feeling that I am still me. Take a slow breath. We begin. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, urologist. If you're over 60 and noticing this, comment 1. If it hits home, 0 if you're skeptical. This is educational, results vary. See your doctor. Have you ever noticed your body no longer greeting you in the morning the way it used to and wondered, has everything closed up? That silence isn't just age. It's the language of blood vessels that have been neglected too long, of tissue waiting for a small signal to remind it how to operate. I'm not asking you to do anything dramatic. I just want you to understand what's happening when the body stops being called by its name. A few private moments each week, gentle, regular, respectful, may be enough to open that quietly closed door. Let's go inside, where the blood flow has always been waiting for an invitation to return. The penis is intricate vascular tissue. To stay supple, it must be regularly perfused. When weeks pass without stimulation, blood visits less, oxygen lingers less, tissue can lose elasticity, and the spontaneous morning reflex recedes. Imagine a knee joint. If you never flexed or extended it, it would stiffen. The body doesn't punish you, it simply learns the habits you teach it. Once or twice a week, with no performance goals, just listening to sensation, is enough to tell the vascular system, keep working here. Have you noticed the rare mornings lately when you suddenly felt lighter after an evening of listening to your body? If so, don't treat that as random. That's your body responding. And behind blood flow lies a deeper, quieter layer. Hormones. Many men say they're tired for no reason, irritable over small things, sullen and impatient with themselves. They usually blame stress, but sometimes the signal lies in testosterone. Your body reads a landscape as vibrant or barren from the intimate moments you allow. When there's appropriate stimulation and release, the brain understands this function is still needed, endocrine rhythms steady, the mind feels clearer, and muscles feel less sluggish. When you shut it down completely, the body understands no longer needed, and the drop can happen faster than you think. Do you find yourself waking up still tired, looking at breakfast without appetite, sitting down and not wanting to stand up? That isn't just age. That's your internal operating system waiting for a live signal. But hormones aren't everything. There's a small gland quietly asking you to let it breathe. The prostate produces fluid every day and hopes to be released regularly. When it's left to stagnate too long, the pelvis can feel heavy. The urinary stream can become stop-start, and the night can be chopped into uninvited awakenings. Many people accept that as fate, when sometimes simply restoring regular, safe, intentional release eases the body and stitches the night back together. Imagine a night without being yanked up 3 or 4 times, a morning without that dull, dragging weight. If there's pain, blood, or burning, that's a signal to see a doctor, because respecting the body also includes knowing when to ask for help. When the body is less congested, the mind closes up less. And right here, we touch something many are reluctant to name: the inner flame. Intimacy with yourself isn't a performance. It's a small ritual that prompts the brain to release chemicals that make you feel warm, calm, and at home in your body. When you cut it off completely, many men say they go mute inside. Less laughter, less spark, less desire to try anything new. Do you notice yourself avoiding the mirror, avoiding your partner's eyes, avoiding even a conversation with yourself. A few private minutes at the right time and in the right measure are like a hot cup of tea on a rainy night. They don't solve your whole life, but they restore a human temperature. When feeling warms again, behavior can change. And when behavior changes, the body learns a new rhythm. To keep this from being just an idea, we need a method gentle enough for you to start tonight. Choose a private space, let warm water ease your body, switch off the pressure of "it has to work" and replace it with the question, "what am I feeling?" Set your goal to listen rather than to prove. Once or twice a week is a kind enough rhythm for your body to relearn without rush or force. If your body sends unusual signals, worsening pain, burning urination, blood, stop and consult a doctor. Stoicism isn't heroism. Safety is self-respect. Would you try a week with just one small change? One quiet evening, one short ritual, one note the next morning about how you feel? If the answer is yes, keep that thought in mind because next is something many will overlook unless warned plainly. If you don't answer your body tonight, what will fall silent next? The morning reflex, your patience with the one you love, or your own laughter? Some doors, when left closed too long, are hard to open with a gentle hand. Do you want to wait until force is required, or open it every week with a touch that's gentle enough? Your body isn't asking you to go back to 20. It's only asking for a signal so it doesn't have to shut down parts that once made you feel like yourself. This is the moment to choose. Stay with the habit of silence or try one small change and observe the result with your own fair eyes. When you're ready, I want to introduce you to someone who once sat in front of me with a silence identical to yours. He was a retired teacher, a kind face with weary eyes. He said his fire was out, that he paced the house at night and woke up feeling like a stranger in his own body. We didn't start with a prescription, we started with an agreement. 1 or 2 evenings a week, a private ritual, a note about the next morning's feeling, and a check-in after 14 nights. The first week, he wrote just a few words. Slept deeper. The second week, the line was longer. No heaviness down below this morning. By the third week, he said he sat back at the drawing table he'd abandoned for years. He didn't become young again. He simply stopped fighting his own body. As he told this, he smiled, a small, warm smile, and asked, "So I'm not broken after all. I was just silent too long?" I think of you. As you hear this line, you may also need a small agreement with yourself. Knowledge that doesn't become habit is just a mental burden. Habit without understanding can take us too far. We need both. Enough understanding to respect the mechanism, enough doing for the body to relearn the rhythm. Tonight, you don't need to memorize hormone names or prostate anatomy. You only need to remember one line: the body learns from what we repeat. So what will we repeat over the next 2 weeks? One more silent night, or a gentle signal that lets blood, hormones, glands, and feelings remember their jobs? If you're still hesitant, treat the conclusion as a tied-up reminder, where I'll tell you the most important thing and show you how to track progress without pressure. We've walked through blood flow, hormones, the prostate, and the inner flame, not to pressure you, but to give you the right keywords for one small decision tonight. In the conclusion, I'll wrap everything into a short sentence you can slip into your shirt pocket, along with a simple check for the next 14 nights so you'll know whether what you're doing is working. If what I've said reaches you, leave a sign so I know you're here with me. If you're still doubtful, say frankly what's holding you back. We'll finish the rest of the path, slowly, surely, and with respect for this body. You don't need to go back to 20. You only need to regain the feeling that you're still living in your own body instead of being dragged somewhere you can no longer control. Tonight, I want you to choose one very small action, not a big promise. Before bed, give your body a private, gentle, non-judgmental moment. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, ask yourself exactly one question. How do I feel different compared with yesterday? And if there is any difference, even just less tension down below or less heaviness in your head, write it down. Do this for 14 nights. That will be your personal recovery map. No one forcing you, no one watching, just between you and the body that has accompanied you all these years. I want to hear from you. Leave the number 1 if you feel it's time to take back agency over your body. Leave 0 if you're still doubtful, and say plainly what you want me to explain more clearly in the next video. Like and subscribe so I still have a reason to keep saying the things that almost no one dares to say to men over 60. I'll repeat a line for you to carry tonight in your shirt pocket or in your memory. We are not our age, we are what we repeat every day. Aristotle said, "We're what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. You don't need to be perfect, you only need to start treating your body as something worth keeping,